gifts will beguile the hearts of fools.
Coins?
Deathmold found a few such coins among soldiers accused of treason.
Witcher, a word, if you will.
Need some help, Monster Slayer?
I want to talk, dog of war.
I've heard much about you, Witcher. Greetings.
Greetings, Captain. I heard you gained fame during the wars with Nilfgaard.
Our fees have doubled since the Battle of Brenna. As it turns out, it was worth risking our necks.
I knew one of your kind once. Woman by the name of Rayla.
Killed by an elf's treacherous arrow. She made a mistake. Let her emotions take control. This profession requires cold calculation.
Must be fatiguing, fighting all the time.
I took a little time off recently. Something along the lines of a honeymoon. But I like my craft, and I'm not afraid to admit it.
I wouldn't mind learning some details about Brenna from someone who played first fiddle there.
Constable Natalis commanded the Nordlings. The Nilfgaardians mounted a vicious attack. And if not for us and the Dun Banner, the collected armies of the North probably would have shattered into bits. Luckily, we showed up at the right time, withstood the assault and came out victorious. We earned every last copper we were paid. 50,000 Nilfgaardians shattered their teeth trying to bite at us. Menno Colehorn, their commander-in-chief, chose death over humiliation. Like in every battle, it was a question of timing, taking advantage of the foe's missteps, and a bit of luck.
Were you here 3 years ago during the last battle for Vergen?
Bradley's Blue Banner was. They were decimated by mages. The survivors enlisted with us. They weren't eager to talk about it, and we didn't press them.
No lack of work for your kind.
Mercenary might just be the surest profession these days. Sign of the times.
Does Henselt pay his mercenaries well? Call it professional curiosity on my part.
It's no secret a lump sum of 20,000 Novigrad crowns awaits, to be divvied up between those who survive.
So the more of you die, the greater the take per head.
Yes.
Let's talk arm wrestling.
Go on.
Bartholomew Bargy sends his regards.
Bart Bargy. I remember him. Strong.
For a peasant. They say you're the strongest arm around here.
You wouldn't be talking to me otherwise.
How's that?
During the Battle of Brenna, I got into a knife fight with a Nilfgaardian commander. That's to say, he had the knife and I had my bare hands. I grabbed him by the wrist, but the blade kept coming towards my throat. He was strong, but lacked stamina. When I felt him weaken, I twisted his arm around and slit his throat. I've worked on my hands, wrists, and arms since then. They all come in handy in my profession.
Wanna wrestle me?
To challenge Adam Pangret for the championship, you've got to beat the best contenders. As you're a witcher and I'm a mercenary, neither of us should wrestle for free.
You have no idea how delighted I am to work in tandem with you.
True, I have no idea.
Better times approach, Geralt, you shall see. I trust you're not bothered if I refer to you by name.
Not at all.
Wonderful, I feel we shall become great friends.
That remains to be seen.
Shake my hand, Geralt, to mark the beginning of our friendship. Don't worry, I've no poison needle up my sleeve. I believe one can learn much about a man from his handshake.
Learned anything?
You have the handshake of a warrior. Strong, decisive, dominating. You're the conquering type. The kind women love.
I was asking about the curse.
Oh, of course. What would you like to know?
Have you dealt with curses before?
I've I've cast a few in my time. One victim sprouted donkey's ears and a tail, another's house burned down. Nothing too serious.
Shame. Have you removed curses, lifted spells?
Never had the chance. But I mastered the theory involved. Best in my class at the Magic Academy.
They don't teach you about curses like this one at Banord.
Glevis's curse is a 4th level blood spell. It's also known as the Archmistress's curse. A misnomer, for they've been cast by generally crazed mages or priests, not necessarily women.
You've done your homework. Explain this blood curse to me.
An ordinary blood curse is a trivial thing. You let a little of your own blood. Best done at midnight, surrounded by lit candles.
Sabrina had a whole pyre around her. Tell me about Glevis's curse.
Read about it for yourself. I've all the necessary literature. In fact, you only need the Great Encyclopedia of Curses, Spells and Prophecies, and a volume compiled by Tesside of Vries and Margarita Loantil, Masters of Magic on Curses Selected Writings.
Quite a tome. Are you sure Sabrina cast the curse?
Positively. Curses of this kind are cast rarely. There have only been 6 confirmed cases.
How many confirmed cases of their being lifted?
1. By a team of mages led by Archmistress Francesca Finderbear, whence came the curse's other appellation. In any case, Sabrina Glevisig was part of that team.
Small world, and one that just got a little uglier.
That's not all. The curse that Francesca and Sabrina dealt with was meant to end the lives of the last of the Tyson dynasty, the rulers of Kovir. It was cast by Scarlet Rodalega, a very talented but completely mad man. A prophecy and an activator were also involved.
I see. Sabrina just stole her curse from this Rodalega.
Precisely. Beside which the king himself and a company of armed men witnessed her casting it.
Why is Henselt still breathing? He killed the priest. Why didn't he burst like a ripe tomato under a dwarf's heel?
Perhaps Glevisig wishes Henselt to wait for imminent death.
I don't think so. I know a few sorceresses. They're mean, true, but they also want results. Sabrina cast the curse while roasting at the stake. Not the most comfortable circumstances. I suspect she botched something.
Are you suggesting Henselt may be safe?
I'm suggesting he could be saved, provided we cut him off from the heart of the curse, the Battle of Spectres. It's the weakest link.
How could we do that?
I don't know yet, but I suspect I could summon Sabrina's ghost and force her to free Henselt. First, I need to learn the circumstances of her death. Did you notice that not all the specters were aggressive?
Most would disappear when we neared them.
I think the curse's power corrupts the ghosts of those who died in the battle, turning them into Draugrs.
Draugrs, is that some professional name you witches have for specters?
They're demons, Deathmold. Draugrs are demons of war that arise on battlefields where the fighting was vicious and the slaughter particularly bloody. They are hatred and bloodlust in condensed form.
The name matters little. Do you know how to rid us of these Draugrs?
A silver sword's enough to send them to their rest. But as long as the curse remains active, new ones will appear. The soldiers' ghosts are the key. If we could reverse the tide of the battle...
Don't delay. Grab your sword and start reversing.
I'll need some symbols of war that belonged to the soldiers who perished here. Artifacts symbolizing hatred, death, courage, and faith. They have to be magically active and linked to those who died. Without them, I won't be able to summon the ghosts.
Well, I've no idea how to find them, apart from which I know little about war symbolism.
I'll deal with the artifacts. I have another job for you. We've got our comet and murder. What about the coins?
We have those as well. Not enough for you.
No. Why do I get the feeling I've stumbled on some shameful secret?
A state secret.
If you don't tell me, your head of state may soon lose his head.
There's a plot afoot within the military. Those involved share a symbol, a square coin adorned with a fish. Let's do this. I shall in no way hinder your investigation, and you will reveal to me anything you learn. Should I happen upon anything related to the curse?
You'll let me know. So be it. If I'm not mistaken, you need blood to cast a blood curse.
Precisely, unachievable otherwise.
Sabrina was bound to a wagon wheel. Where did she get enough blood?
She put a spell on a soldier who gave her a coup de grace. It was easy. The minds of some soldiers are so uncomplicated. Sabrina needed one of them to strike her, shorten her suffering, but complete the curse. However, this is where she erred. That whore performed miracles, gathered the power, got the prophecy and activator right, but fell flat on her face on the simplest thing at the end.
Don't get so excited.
She chose a fool, a bungler. I heard he thrust 5 times with his spear, yet the witch's soul would not quit her corpse.
There was no one guarding the pyre?
It was one of the guards the sorceress chose for the task. His comrades were irate. He spoiled the show for them. The king was no longer anywhere near.
In any case, blood flowed and the curse took root.
Yes, but the harlot got her due.
You're gonna help me, Death Mold.
Of course, as the king ordered.
Listen up. You'll do the paperwork. I get the feeling you like it. I'll need a number of protective runes to summon Sabrina's ghost. They need to detain the sorceress's ghost and anything else that enters this world with it. Find something for me in your library. The runes need to be easy to produce. I haven't seen any artists around here. Apart from that, the Draugrs are likely to begin their forays in search of Henselt. When they leave the battlefield, they'll grow weaker. Your men should be able to handle them. Just equip them with silver-plated weapons. Henselt could also use something silver to defend himself. Over the entrance to his tent, hang a wreath of cinquefoil and fool's parsley. Inside, a fire fueled by juniper branches must burn at all times.
Where will I get so much silver?
Melt down your collection of pots for all I care. Just get it.
Those aren't pots, they're silver vases of Nazaya.
Last of all, give Henselt an instructional talk. Explain that I'll need him.
And what will you be doing? Drinking ale and fondling the camp women?
There's that, yes. Though I'll also prepare to summon Sabrina's ghost, and figure out what I need to send the fighting specters back to the afterlife. I'll drop by and give you more work as I learn about this curse.
How did you divine that you might recover your memory by lifting the curse?
I don't like people poking around in my life.
Learning about others is my job. I must know the secrets of all who wish to approach the king. I've no problem admitting I like the work.
My past has nothing to do with Henselt.
You don't know that. Do you know why I have no friends, Witcher? Because sooner or later I learn all their secrets, which is followed by interrogations, torture, executions.
Just leave my past alone.
Oi, Witcher! Out in these wastelands hunting monsters? Well, if you see two of my men, tell them I'll rip them both brand new assholes if they miss muster.
What are they doing there?
It's a common malady. A day don't go by that some dimwit don't sneak out of the camp to go to the gullies.
They may never return.
Anything's possible. But I, for one, hope they just overdid it with the liquor and fell asleep in some bush.
We'll see if I come across anyone.
Luck be with you. You're a good fellow. Ah, find them and you'll see Corporal Zivik knows how to be grateful.
Are you Leva?
If you've got a growth of some sort and you're here for the salve, get in line.
Nothing of the sort this time. You were here during Henselt's previous expedition.
What of it?
I have some questions.
Be quick. Half of Henselt's nobility's waiting for this salve. They've all started pissing blood out of longing for the spouses they left at home.
The ravines around the camp, they don't look like they were shaped by nature.
They're proof of the great power sorceresses can summon. Sabrina's fireballs scarred the ground for many miles around the battlefield.
I'm interested in that tower.
It's the remnant of a manor sacked long ago. They call it the Tower of Debauchery, since Madame Carol made camp at its foot.
Did many soldiers survive the battle 3 years ago?
But a handful. The rest were just vaporized. Those who could walk dragged those who couldn't. All the survivors were horribly burned. 3 years back, it was the home of Malgat, the healer, and his family. While he helped us tend the wounded, someone murdered his children. Malgat couldn't come to terms with the tragedy and threw himself into the river. The children were buried behind the house. Their graves should still be there.
I'll let you get back to treating all those brave fighting men.
But we should at least object somehow.
Oop.
Take that.
Oop. Think I have to light them in the correct order. I'm guessing that was the wrong order. Diamond. Alright. Leave it here. Big ass drop in the water. That's comforting. The Malget's note. Find someone able to decipher the magic notes. Oh, I've got to see this. Alright, as with anything folks, never speak aloud, whatever that means, because that means there's a demon going to pounce out.
You're not the one we seek, though his aura is strong, even on you.
Impossible. I watched Maverick wash his pants.
Who are you?
I'm a witcher, and I'm here because you haunt an innocent man. You've ruined Maverick's life, and it's high time you left this world.
Maverick? Innocent? That son of a bitch murdered me and my two sisters, then threw our bodies off the cliff. Our father, Malget, died of despair. Fortunately, fate has brought Maverick here again, straight into our hands. Revenge shall be ours.
I need to find out if you're telling the truth. If your story checks out, I'll bring Maverick here.
Have you managed to do anything, Witcher?
I went to the house where you and your unit were stationed. Found some interesting things in the cellar.
I know nothing of that, and don't wish to know anything. I just want to be rid of that phantom.
I can't help you if you don't tell me the truth.
If I must. Folks say that old Malget conspired with the river demons. So much blood has flowed down the Pontar. It's the evil in it that the beings in the river's depths feed on. That's all I know, truly.
Have you managed to do anything, Witcher?
The specters manifest themselves even when you're absent. They've burrowed deep into your subconscious. If I killed them now, they'd return instantly, so I need your help to destroy them.
If there's no other way, what would you ask of me?
Meet me at the beach, an hour before midnight.
You've finally returned, brother. Time to atone for your evil deeds. You shall surrender to us your soul.
Kiss my arse, Phantom. You'll not make me shit myself this time. Me and the Witcher will dispatch you where you belong.
Naive little Maverick, made a fool of your entire life. Isn't that true, Geralt?
What are they talking about?
The specters say you're their brother, and you murdered them 3 years ago. What do you say?
How can you even ask? I'm a soldier, not a murderer!
Denying it is not enough. You need to prove your innocence, and I need to know the truth before I make my choice.
I never murdered anyone! I'm a soldier! I kill foes, not women!
I'll take your word over that of evil spirits. Now help me.
How many more can there be?
I'll not forget what you did for me.
I did it for coin.
A small price for peace of mind.
Don't you owe me an explanation? I want to hear the truth.
I was born by the very border. General van der Grift understood that I knew every blade of grass here. So he appointed me lead scout. We were based in my family's house.
This house?
One day I scouted beyond the river. When I returned, I found my father digging the graves behind the house.
What happened?
Honor was everything to him. He had brought us up, taught us principles, and then one day Aedirnian soldiers arrived and undid all that. Shamed his children. He could not stop himself. He swore he did not do it, but there was blood in his clothes. We fought. He fell from the cliff.
Why did the specters want your soul?
Maybe they've no tolerance for patricide.
Maybe. Now go back to camp and present proof of your valor. Take back your dignity.
Oi! What you doing here?
I heard Zivik can't wait for you to get back.
Plough it all. If we miss muster, he'll have us flogged. Get us out of here, will ya?
You came here on your own. You can get back on your own.
This place is crawling with drowners. I mean, we'd have stayed in our tents on our arses if we'd known. We're safe in the circle, but 3 feet outside, and who knows what would happen.
All right, we'll go back together, but let me look around first. Apparently, it's bad luck to tread on the ashes. Carved from a solid piece of stone. Reusable, you could say. Candles, amulets, coins. People make offerings here like they would at a shrine. Candles. The stench is worse than Zoltan's boots. Nothing unusual about them otherwise. Square coins adorned with a fish. I guess the plotters like to come here. Let's see. An unnatural stillness typical of intersections and places where streams of the power meet. Unnerving but harmless. People seem to be staying away from the wheel. They're afraid. All the gifts are at a safe distance from it. Except for one person. With Kedweni Army issue boots. Glad to know I'm not the only one to desecrate this site. Animal tracks. Dogs, wolves, bears, even birds. You'd think this was a feeding ground, but they all fear the circle. Except for cats. Their tracks are everywhere. One even napped on the pedestal. Triss once told me cats like to sleep on intersections. And they're the only beasts apart from dragons who can draw the power. They clearly like this place. Sabrina was nailed to this wheel. Something protected the wheel from the flames. It's hardly scorched. Fresh holes and splinters. Someone's pulled nails from the wheel recently. I better take one, just in case. I need to bring the king here. I need to reenact the execution. If I can only summon Sabrina's ghost, I could force her to lift the curse. The Draugrs and the mist will remain, but at least the king will be safe. I need to know what happened here. Witnesses of the execution, they're the key. If I can just find out how Sabrina died, I should be able to free Henselt of the curse. 2 leads. Sabrina's cultists and the nail thief who's obviously immune to the aura of this place. Time to question some soldiers. How did you manage to avoid the drowners on your way here?
The visionary was with us. He led us through, then left.
Did you see them burn the sorceress?
3 years ago. We both served under Henselt then, but only the 5th Company guarded the stake.
They say the king never wanted to make a spectacle. Some soldiers never come here, but others visit the circle to check the remains.
You're just like them. To you, it's only a superstition to make money from. You're looking for old nails in the ashes.
Like that shitbag who trades outside the inn.
You're mistaking me for someone else.
Really? Then give us the nail.
I'm keeping it.
Keeping it? Not heard what they say? Relics are like fist tech for simple folk.
Did you light those candles?
We did.
What's it to you?
Burning them for Sabrina?
To you, 'tis a waste of time, right?
Feel their eyes on you. They're watching us. We won't get out alive, superstitious idiots that we are.
Don't you believe the visionary? You don't have to. But it was worth a try, right?
Old idiot. It's his fault we ended up here.
Who is this visionary?
He's behind all this. He talks of miracles in the circle.
I believe him. Know why? He lives deep in the valleys, but something protects him from all those harpies.
I don't like this place.
Thought you'd want to stay the night here.
I know at least a few places I'd rather sleep. Come on.
Beats me why they've been fighting over these hellholes for generations.
I get goosebumps every time I go outside the palisade.
Guess Civic was right. We should have sat on our arses.
You'll be whistling a different tune when the mist lifts and we attack Vergen.
The visionary's a right bastard leaving us here.
I believe him. He says he hears voices.
My nan heard voices too. Her mouth would froth up like a dog's and she'd shit all over. When my old man couldn't take it anymore, he axed the hag to death.
Shut your gob. Curses on him! If it wasn't for you that have eaten us!
We owe you our lives, Witcher. We can't let Civic catch us.
Don't shit your pants! Sabrina saved us from the monsters, so what's one little Civic to her?
The soldiers you were looking for, they got held up for a while at Sabrina's circle.
Oh, the idiots! To be duped by witchcraft and superstitions. I'll put them to scrubbing the latrines indefinitely. But I thank you for bringing them back. Your reward, as promised.
Did you participate in the battle?
I did, and I fought. But I'd rather not go into it.
The spirits of those who died in battle are now in combat on that field. They kill each other and change into nasty creatures called Draugrs. Edirnians, Cadwennies, even your comrades. I want to help them, but I have to know what happened during the battle.
Oh, the plague. Listen then. The fighting started in the afternoon. The Dun Banner was first to attack. We were ambushed, cut off from our main unit and devastated. Bloody scouts and Sabrina Glevissig, who was supposed to mind the battlefield. By then, the battle was in full swing. Wherever you see those damned furrows, people fought there. The Edirnian lines faltered a few times, but we couldn't crush them because of Seltkirk. Yes, we had the Visitor. They had Seltkirk of Gullet, the invincible White Knight, Edirn's finest swordsman. Wherever our forces gained the upper hand, he'd appear and reverse the fighting's course. Then, Vandergrift himself went into battle. He met Seltkirk in the middle of the melee. It was a battle of titans. In the end, the Visitor hacked Seltkirk and sliced the White Knight from his head to his balls. Then, death fell from the heavens. Lumps of burning soil flew through the air. The whole valley was on fire. Damned magic of a damned witch. I owe my life to Priest Crest, our chaplain. He led me out of the battle and went back for the others. He had a medallion that protected him against fire. He led everyone out, including the Edirnians. But the flames got him in the end.
What happened before the battle?
We forded the Pontar on the third day after the autumn equinox. The Edirnians were waiting for us, formed up in a long line at the foot of those hills. I remember the banners of Vengerberg, Aldersburg, Gullet. Knights, armored infantry, peasants, the Vergen dwarf regiment. All save the king. They numbered more than 5,000. General Vandergrift, commander of the Kedwennies, had less than 4,000, including the elite Bearheads, armored troops from Ard Caraig, and the famous White Foxes of the north. And ourselves, the Dun Banner, veterans of Brenner, hated by the Edirnians more than the plague. But above all, we had Vandergrift the Visitor. Maybe he was a bastard, but he knew war like nobody else.
Do I have this right? You served in the Dun Banner?
Did indeed. Henselt's never commanded a fiercer group of warriors, and he never will. If not for us, there'd have been no victory for the North at Brenner. We carried the day.
I didn't see the Dun banner in the camp.
And you won't. The unit's no more. Ensign Eckhart Hennessy carried the standard into battle for the last time 3 years ago.
Glevisig's magic?
Worse. The Edirnian troops, the bastards. The Dun banner, the pride of Kedwen, lost its standard and almost all its men. The Visitor refused to send us reinforcements when we were cut off. The Dun must prevail. It's been in worse shite than this. The Dun will be all right. 7 Edirnians to each one of us. We had no fucking hope. 200 men went into battle and less than 70 came back. But that's not all. Only a few survived to this day. The boys couldn't handle it. Suicide, firewater, fistek. A few became highwaymen. They ended up on the gallows or in ditches. Memories can also kill you, and soldiers don't always deal with them well.
I have to find that standard.
I heard it lies in the catacombs neath Bergen, alongside my mates. Hey, if you're thinking of going there, I ought to give you my beaver skin cap. That's its rightful place.
Did you see the duel between Seltkirk and Vandergrift?
From a distance. At the time I was on that hill, and they were somewhere over there. The field used to be as flat as a table. It was their second duel. Earlier, in peacetime, they'd met at a tournament in Ardcarraig. Seltkirk won then. Vandergrift's sword cracked and the Visitor had to yield. After the tournament, he had a new sword forged by Kedwen's best mages and swordsmiths. That's how Lowathan came to be.
I think that means hatred in the Elder language. Pretty pretentious.
They say a sorcerer cast a spell on the sword and told Vandergrift the blade wouldn't crack as long as he remained invincible. The mage got 50 lashes and was the last to mention any such nonsense.
Who has Vandergrift's sword now?
When the Sea of Flames died out, the looters ran amok. They found Seltkirk's chainmail, which survived somehow. Maybe it was magical too. Vandergrift's sword went missing. The boys in the camp claim the female dragon slayer has it, but I wouldn't even try talking to her.
Who's got Seltkirk's chainmail?
A certain Vincent Trott. Low nobility, in the army since forever, a greedy bastard.
Where can I find him?
That's a problem. Deathmold wanted him arrested after they found a square coin on him. Some of the officers and noblemen want to get rid of the Black Ones. They don't like how they lord it around the camp, even though the king talks to them. Those coins are their sign, the stupid bunch of plotters. Anyway, Vincent's a swashbuckler. He thrashed Deathmold's people and disappeared. Those with the coins won't say a word because they're scared of Deathmold.
You mentioned the priest.
A really good man. He was with us the whole time, during the march, in the barracks and in battle. Among common soldiers. Freya gave him a medallion to protect him from fire. I don't know how true that is, but he led me and many others to safety.
Who has this medallion?
King Henselt. I saw it once. I don't know how he got hold of it, but he definitely had it.
There's a soldier by the inn selling scraps from Sabrina's execution site.
I know. The damned quartermaster. This business of his muddles the minds of the soldiers. Suddenly, everyone believes a splinter in your pocket'll protect you in battle. Half-wits.
They'll pay for their folly with their lives.
And who the fuck are you to judge them? You roam around the world with no care for folk like us. Sure, you can fight, but you don't have to get up, eat, or fucking die when ordered. All my friends died on someone's orders. You'll never get it.
Go to hell, Zivik. You don't know a thing about me.
And I don't want to. Go on your way.